We got big news today as we've been on Shedeur Sanders' watch this entire year. The Cleveland Browns quarterbacks just got shook up again with some big news. Joe Flacco traded to the Cincinnati Bengals, and by default, Shedeur Sanders is now the QB2 with Deshaun Watson, his ghost, just waiting in the wings, seeing what the Browns do with that mess. But right now, we're a step away. We're a step away. We're going to talk about what the media thinks. We're going to talk about what we're seeing behind the scenes. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're looking at what your players are doing behind the scenes. We're looking at the interviews. We're looking at the practice clips. We're looking at the future of your favorite players. Also, I'm helping you win fantasy football leagues every single day. Channel's built on that. That is what we do, but we also look at side quests here, and the Shedeur Sanders side quest has been our mission. Click that button. Stop missing out. But it's time to party today.
According to Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero, news coming down that the Bengals are trading for Joe Flacco. Again, Bengals trading for Joe Flacco, according to Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport. Wow. No idea the return. Wow. Really?
It's time to party as we roll through old practice clips and talk some ball here. Because Dillon Gabriel, default QB1, Shedeur Sanders is this much closer to his opportunity. How much longer are we going to watch Dillon Gabriel not being able to throw it 10 yards or more?
Did you agree with what Kevin Stefanski did? Did you disagree with Kevin Stefanski?
I did not like it. It was 3rd and 11. You know, how many completions before that point were over 11 yards? You know, one?
Only throwing it to out routes and the flat, not being able to sling it deep. How much longer is that going to happen? How much longer? Because I'm looking at the schedule here. I can definitely tell Shedeur's going to play.
Okay, so here's the deal. Dillon Gabriel.
Right.
Bailey Zappe.
Yep, I was going to say the same thing.
Shedeur Sanders. Not necessarily in that order.
Shedeur Sanders up, right?
Not necessarily.
Sanders, if you drafted him, you might as well make him the number 2 quarterback at the worst. What? Why? Why wouldn't you?
Because of this. I don't know that this is the case. Why wouldn't you?
Yes.
You don't think he's ready to play at the NFL level.
Then why did you draft him?
Well, Andy, a lot of guys you draft late aren't ready to play at the NFL level. That's okay. Can everybody realize that it's okay? Let the kid develop a little. He could end up being really good. I hope so. In the meantime, you've got 3 quarterbacks.
Sooner than later. And I'm looking at this. My last video said, hey, I kind of want a full week of practice before he gets thrown out there. I kind of want that. And I'm looking at the home games because I kind of want the Browns fans to be excited about something. I kind of want them to be excited. I see that Dolphins game at home looking very juicy. This team has sucked at QB. Just give the fans what they need. Just give them something for once.
What I really expect from him is what I just saw. I don't know. I really don't know how low the floor or how low the ceiling is or how high the floor is on Dillon Gabriel. I think the ceiling is probably shorter than Shedeur's. Maybe Shedeur has more natural arm talent or whatever it might be.
I thought Shedeur had more arm talent than Dillon.
But
and by the way, stop referencing the combine or the Senior Bowl thing with Dillon. It's not real. He set the record at the Senior Bowl. That's not a real measurement. That was some fake thing that got brought up, and people are throwing it in my face. Like, he set the all-time NFL record at Senior Bowl. Guys, his arm is not as good as Shedeur Sanders' arm. Like, I thought we all agreed on that going into the season, that Shedeur had more arm talent than Dillon.
I thought he was. I just thought Shedeur was better. That's all. I was surprised I was shocked that Shedeur fell to the 5th round. That's part of it too. And so maybe because of that, I feel his ceiling's better. Maybe I'm wrong about it. We're going to find out at some point. He's going to play. But is it?
I'd like to see Dillon's mobility be more of a factor.
Yes. Is Shedeur going to play because we just want to see him, or is Dillon Gabriel going to play because, or is Shedeur going to play because Dillon Gabriel struggles so much? I find the latter to be harder to say than the former.
This team has sucked at quarterback for so long. I didn't care if he plays well. Like, I'm in it for the Browns fans now. They saw their team move to Baltimore and win a Super Bowl. They've been dealing with quarterbacks in and out. They traded 2 bum quarterbacks already this year. Dillon Gabriel, starter. We already saw it. And I told you this was going to happen. That Dillon Gabriel is going to give you like moral victories, and then the wheels are going to fall off. We had some moral victories, the wheels didn't fall off yet. It's going to happen. The offensive line's rough. Let's see if he can stay upright. That's a rookie quarterback behind a rough offensive line. Johnny Manziel's back. He's back trying to stay relevant, talking shit about the Browns, but he's kind of right.
There was a lot of things that went on in the organization that I feel some type of way about still to this day. I understand they gave me that opportunity. I appreciate it, but there was so much that went on behind the scenes that, will never be spoken about. They
tried to make too stern of an example out of you, is kind of what happened, right?
There was just, there was a lot, and I think it'll probably all come out like eventually one day, but I don't wish them the best. And for me,
fuck the Browns.
It's I'm always going to be tied to them, right? I only played with one NFL team, so I'm always going to be like a guy who played quarterback for the Browns and it didn't fucking work out, and I fucking played like ass in Cleveland. Like it's always going to be that. But like, fuck that town, fuck that team, and like, good luck. I mean, with or without me, they've consistently been fucking bad.
They are very toxic. Rough culture here. We're seeing it with the quarterbacks. It's been here for decades. Almost my entire life. They have been rough at the quarterback position. So we're watching this Browns team, and you guys keep arguing me about the quarterback reps, quarterback this. And I told you it was going to be rough in the beginning. That's because of this. Johnny Manziel's saying it, and he's toxic himself. Like, he's got his problems. But put that to the side. It's not like he's wrong, because we're seeing this. We saw this with the practice reps. They're trying to roll out 4 quarterbacks. Shedeur is the QB here that will push it downfield. That is what they need. They need some hope.
I believe in Shedeur. I believe he was raised to be a franchise quarterback in the National Football League. He has a natural feel for playing the hardest position in sports, and you can't teach that or coach it. He grew up around superstars, and he just has a manner about him where he knows he can play. What he did at Jackson State and then 2 years at Colorado was extraordinary and against long odds. He's as tough as any college quarterback I ever saw. I know this league got the biggest kick out of him falling to a team that clearly he and Deion did not want originally, because you wouldn't want to be stuck in Cleveland if you could be the first pick in the draft. He can play, and if he ever gets his chance, God willing, he will seize it and make them all look like fools. He does study. Like, that's good old boy perception of this kid, with the DJ in the locker room and the exotic cars, and he's got the Cybertruck, and he's, that's the white guy view of Shedeur. I lost a lot of respect for the NFL on Shedeur, because inevitably somewhere somebody's going to give him a shot, because this league is always desperate for a quarterback here or there. And when he gets it, you better be ready, because he will be.
They ain't got that with Gabriel unless he changes it up. But the short game, the chip and wedge, that's what you got there with Gabriel. He's a good backup quarterback. He's a career backup. I expect him to be a good backup for years and years and years in the league. Probably have some good runs as a starter later on down the road. 2-3 game samples, filling in as the starter gets hurt. Different teams, all that. Probably have a nice career, nice life from it. Shadur Sanders got that starter upside. We know that. He's got accuracy downfield, back of the end zone, by the sideline, put it in deep placement, tighter windows. That's what you got here. And you're looking at this. We know Dillon Gabriel is going to get rolled out for the next game. We know this. I'm looking at some of these home matchups, because right now I got to be a fan of the Browns fans right now, and I got to help them out. You got Baltimore. Then after that, I think you got a Titans game. I'm trying to go off memory. That's too late for me. I think that Dolphins game. Shedeur versus the Dolphins. I don't want to wait until it's Shedeur versus Cam Ward later in the season. I don't want to wait for that. I think the Ravens game, considering the narrative with the draft, is fine, but it's too late. Like, I do want him to get some time as the QB1 in practice, just so he can get that ramp-up moment, since he didn't get it in training camp like he should have. Think about it. Why have Joe Flacco on the team and Pickett if you're just going to do this anyways. There was a high probability of this. There was a high probability. They're also saying, hey, our season's done. We're going to see what we got in the young guys. Unless the ghost of Deshaun Watson comes out. They've been talking about this for a bit. The ghost of Deshaun Watson could be coming out. And I would not be surprised if Deshaun Watson comes out and they start using him. I would not be surprised.
I wasn't joking about Deshaun Watson. People can like that or hate it, but I think I would bet that in Vegas that he's going to start at some point this season. But I don't know. What do you think, Anthony? Do you think Dillon Gabriel is going to start the rest of the season?
No.
He's asking you now.
I do not.
We're in a great place.
I guess the question is, how many quarterbacks will the Browns actually have under center this year? Because the last few years, I think a couple years ago it was 5. Last year, I think it was 5. How many start this year? We can answer that another day, John. I don't want to put you on the spot too many times.
I would not be surprised. I think that'd be ignorant. I think your season's cooked. Your season's cooked. You're going to roll out Gabriel for another game. You're going to lose that. Now you're going to have that dilemma. Just see what you got in your rookies. See what you should have figured that out in training camp, like I've been saying. That's why you should put their feet to the fire and let them compete. Let them compete. Let Shadur get more reps. I know people call him to be the starter for Shadur or easy QB2 going into the season. At least. That was my position. Like I saw this the whole time. Like at least do that. At least. Now you're here. You wasted your whole damn season, your whole off season. Give him Flacco reps, Pickett reps. I get it. But it was a high probability with any of those quarterbacks we were going to get to this point. It was a high probability. You were trying to hold on tight and not fall out of that roller coaster. And guess what? It happened. And now you're looking at Gabriel. Why the hell you draft him in the 3rd round? Why are you drafting a career backup in the 3rd round? You could have got another good player here. You got lucky being able to pick up Isaiah Bond. You could have got another player there to patch up another hole. You could have picked up another backup later in the draft, and it should have falls to you 5th round. Then you're rolling 4 quarterbacks on the roster. And you picked Gabriel in the 3rd round? That was a head-scratcher itself, let alone Shadur was on the board. And whether or not you wanted him or not there, still, you overdrafted Gabriel. You overdrafted him. He's going to be a career backup. Like, you tried to put the bubble wrap around him. He got all the work and all the touches. You shouldn't have to do that. And when he was completing 20 to 30% of his passes, you should have heated it up with Shadur then. Got the competition rolling. Or not draft Shadur. Let him go somewhere else since you weren't going to use him. Get him the appropriate development and practice reps. And then let Flacco get more of those opportunities. Another thing, too, I want to say this. Flacco was helping Shadur behind the scenes, working out with them, helping him with board work, studying all that. Early, 5 a.m. and everything else. You saw it on the sidelines, them two together, especially at that London game. Some fans were pointing that out. I think that's going to be somewhat of an impact. Like that, he was helping Shadur. He was helping him. He was being a coach. He was being a veteran. He was being a good veteran. Nothing against Flacco. Get your checks before you call it a career. Get your check. Get that final check. Shadur will be in the league still next year. I know there's a lot of doubt, or he'll be in the league, whether he's with the Browns or not. That'll be different. But his opportunity's coming. I got the Dolphins date circled. That's what I want. What do you want? I know some of you guys just want it now. Let Gabriel fall on that knife. Let him fall on that knife. Because we saw that. We saw that against the Vikings. Let them roll him out in bubble wrap. Let the wheels fall off. I want him versus the Dolphins at home. I didn't really look at the schedule when I was talking yesterday and said I wanted it a little later. I want him the full week as the QB1. Dolphins at home. That'd be the perfect matchup for him. He pushes it downfield. I do wish Cedric Tillman was back. I wish they had more weapons. Maybe they could have used that 3rd for another weapon. It was not a deep wide receiver class this year. It just wasn't. Now we're looking at this and we're like, there's some other home games. And the reason why I want it at home is because I want it for the Browns fans. I do not care if it's away, really. But the Browns fans have suffered enough. I know some of you guys are here for Colorado, Shedeur, and all that. give the Browns fans some grace. Let them get a home game out of this with something to be excited about. They haven't had one forever. They haven't. I mean, you talk about the Sashi Browns days. Those days where they were building through analytics, and it was exciting with how they were building, and then they were like, we weren't running fast enough, so they had to squash it all. Remember that? Remember that? Front office, man. This front office, man. Shadur Sanders is getting his moment sooner than later. Deshaun Watson, though, is lurking. And I'm not a member of this franchise, remember. They're going to do what they're going to do. Shadur Sanders getting his opportunity soon. Let me know what you think in comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.